But that does not tell half of the story, because in that second half, the chances Spurs had, Glenn, they hit the bar twice. The concern is now, how much could they live to regret that?
Well, yes, I mean, but they created so much second half. You know, it was a game where they could have easily won, as we said, 3-1. You know, and hit the bar. The keeper had one of those second halves, a worldie. But it was a good performance from Tottenham. That's what's really encouraging for them. They've got their best team there now, and they can go over on the front foot.
Behind you there, Ange Postecoglou coming out to join us. Good to see you, Ange.
Hey, good, mate. Yeah, good, thank you.
Glenn was just saying how much of an encouraging performance that was, Ange. How pleased are you with the way your team responded after such an early setback?
Yeah, no, I can't ask any more, lads. You know, it was disappointing, obviously, to concede the way we did. It was, you know, fair strike to the lad. He's outside the box and he's nailed it. But after that, even before that, I thought we were well in control of the game. We didn't create a lot in the first half, but I just thought we were making them work awfully hard, which would bear fruit for us in the second half. And it did in every aspect but goals, you know. And I couldn't ask any more of the lads, though. I thought the performance was first rate.
And your equaliser, it was a brilliant finish from Pedro. But what did you like about the whole move?
Yeah, it was kind of thing stuff we worked on in terms of, you know, working in those tight areas, getting people across, you know, the front of their defence, and then working their half spaces. And yeah, Dom's done awfully well to hold it up. And like Matters is really good in the box in these situations. Try and get him in those areas, and then it's about attacking the near post. You've got Brendan at the far post. We've got guys in those areas all the time.
What we were saying there, Ange, is that inverted your fullback, where Porro started in that centre. That's when it works fantastic.
Yeah, correct.
He's ended up as a centre forward.
Correct.
He scores. Brilliant.
Because Dom's obviously gone out of that area. That's what you'd normally expect in there. And it's a great finish, to be fair to him, yeah.
Were they a bit deeper than you anticipated?
I had a feeling, Owen, that they wouldn't be too expansive today. Yeah. You know, I thought they'd play fairly conservatively. And, you know, for us, obviously, the biggest blow we had was conceding the goal so early, because that kind of played into their hands. I always felt that we'd finish the game strong. But we created so many good chances in the second half.
I mean, the keeper had a worldie, didn't he?
Ridiculous. I mean, we hit the crossbar 3 times, I think. So on any other night, you know, you go away with a comfortable victory. But I think, obviously, we've got to go there, and we kind of knew we'd probably get decided in the second tie. If we repeat that performance, I definitely think we give ourselves a chance.
It was a good game. I mean, it was a good game, but it was tight, wasn't it? And I think, from my experience playing in these games, the margins are so fine, aren't they? Give or take here or there, keepers out of world. You had some brilliant chances as well. I think the second leg will be the same.
Absolutely, because I mean, yeah. Players don't know what's at stake, and everything has a little bit of an edge on it. So I don't expect the second game to be too open either. You know, I think it'll be a cagey affair, and it'll come down to moments. I just think if we repeat those moments next week, one of them will drop for us, and we'll get what we need.
Did you think second half? Sorry, Lindsay. Did you think second half that you shifted the ball much quicker than you did the first half?
Yeah, I kind of knew in the first half that it would be a bit of a grind because, like I said, I didn't think they'd come out. But I thought we were making them work at least, and I thought that would bear fruit towards the end of the game. They'd tire and we'd get opportunities, but we started shifting the ball a lot quicker for sure, and we're getting it more into the dangerous areas. I thought Destiny was outstanding in terms of his running capacity, and that's the ability we have to kind of overrun teams, and it's what we're going to have to do in the second leg.
It must have been great as well to look at the bench. As a manager, you look at the bench and think, hang on, I've got something here to change. I've got a game changer. I've got energy, the 3 that you brought on. And you haven't had that option for so long.
I was going to say, I know what it feels when that isn't there. So, and I thought the guys who came on gave us some energy. And look, like I said, the second leg's going to be tight for sure. It might even go into extra time. We're going to need all the lads ready to go. And the good thing is now we've got most of them back and healthy, which is important. You've
got most of them back. How far away is Dejan Kulusevski? Any chance for the second leg?
Touch and go. Look, the idea with Decky and Kevin Danzo is they're due to start training with the team probably, if not the end of this week, sort of tomorrow or early next week. I don't think they're a possibility to start, but I think Kulusevski's a chance to be involved.
And one of those brilliant chances in the second half fell to Lucas Bergvall. So unlucky. That would have been an absolute stunning goal. Yeah. What a talent have you got on your hands there?
He's just growing all the time, and it's exciting. You know, he's 18, 19 years old now, and I'll be honest, I didn't expect him to play as much as he did this year, but it's kind of been a benefit for us. One of the positives of what we've gone through is guys like him have just grown enormously, and you know, when you think about the kind of player he can be in the next 2 or 3 years for this football club, you know, he's got this ability to run. He's really, really strong, and you know, he's got the technical ability, but his ability to sort of burst through things and really work hard for the team. I thought he was unlucky not to get that goal today.
This was big.
That was massive.
I mean, it's such a little thing, but it adds up, doesn't it?
And these kind of situations where, like I said, it's not just I think that's the area he's really developed. We knew we were getting a technical player, but it's his ability to win the ball back, and this would have capped off.
And how important has this competition been for him? Because he's got valuable experience being able to play with the injuries you've had in terms of that development.
Enormously. You've got to remember, he's come from the Swedish league. It's not like, a lot of young players who come to England kind of have another step, whether it's the Bundesliga or Italy, but he's come straight from Sweden into the English Premier League. And like I said, whether it's the Premier League or in Europe, he's growing enormously, and really exciting talent for sure.
And tonight, finally, must give you plenty of belief that this could still be a memorable season.
Absolutely, yeah. We've never lost that belief. We're in there with a chance. We're fighting. I thought the fans were outstanding tonight. I think they helped the group, and hopefully we can repay them next week.
Ange, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Good luck in that second leg.
Good luck next week.
Ladies first, always.
Good luck.
All the best. Thank you.
What did you think of Ange's summing up of the game there? He seems to be taking a lot of encouragement for much of the performance tonight.
And rightly so, Lindsay. He's, it was a great performance second half. He's not going to say it was a great performance, blah, blah, because they haven't won the game. But that could have so easily been a 2-3-1 win. And then they've really got something to go over to Frankfurt and hold on to. But no, performance-wise, if they get anywhere close, it'd be a different tactical game, slightly different. They might have to bank in a little bit, like we spoke about before the game against Man City, when they did defend deep and they hit them on the break. They might have to play a little bit different there, but my word, they know they're going to have to be mentally strong, because we saw that the away fans didn't stop even at half-time, did they?
And that ground's going to have 58,000 in. What is it like there, Owen? Just tell the Tottenham fans what that stadium is like in Frankfurt, because it's one of the most intimidating places.
It is, but it's not a better stadium than this, obviously. This is one of the best, but the atmosphere is really good, and I think it's going to be difficult, but I think it might actually play. Having a bit of a laugh, am I? I think it will work in Tottenham's favour, because I think they'll probably have to play a little bit more because of the fans. They'll be pushed on, and I think space will open up a little bit for Tottenham, maybe on the counter. So, yeah, it'd be really interesting. I just wonder if you approach it any differently. Will they play a little bit deeper on the break like they did against Liverpool and City? Or will they kind of dominate possession like they did? I think there'll be chances for both teams. It'll probably just come down to who takes them, who doesn't.
Would you be doing work to get them mentally ready as well to face an atmosphere like that?
Well, it's very difficult to replicate that. You can show them videos of other games when it's been up, but until you get there, until you're on that pitch, you've got to be strong mentally. You've got to talk about the mental side of the game without a doubt, because you can have that effect. But you become, almost like as a team, it's us against the world. And you'll have a little corner bit where your fans are there and you're playing for them, and you've got to try and switch off from the atmosphere. Sometimes atmospheres like that spur you on. They make you play better. Actually, they lift you. So, it's going to be, if you're anything about you as a player, you want to play.
This is what you dream of, Lynn, as a player, to play in that atmosphere. It's going to be lively, but you get the opportunity. You got to imagine you can win a European trophy, Lynn. You can get into the Champions League. It changes everybody's season, the perception of everything. So it's all to play for them. Everybody's fit and healthy. Hopefully Kulusevski's back. They can easily go there and get a result and get into the semi-finals.
They can't, though, start the way they did tonight.
No, and to be fair, I was going to ask Ange that there about, you can speak about Ekatite or you want, and you see he's got 19 goals, and then you see him up close and you see he's like 6'3", and then he does this after 6 minutes. Technically, this kid is great. That is as clean as a whistle. You can see why he scored a hat-trick against England a couple of weeks ago for France, because he gives you, and I don't want to say this very lightly, it gives you Thierry Henry vibes coming in off that left with his size and his skill, that little finish, passing it into the corner. He showed a few glimpses today, Glenn, where you go, you almost have, he's that good, Glenn, you have to game plan for him, don't you?
Yeah, we showed some clips before the game, but that shows you about the counter. The first ball, once they nick it off Maddison, the first ball goes forward and it's really progressive. And that's when you can be 1v1. And we were talking about half-time where there's no cover on the inside, but it's hard to get that cover because your first ball has really been aggressive and gone forward. And players like him, 1v1s, comes inside. What a finish it was. But it was a great bit of character from Tottenham, because you go one down, the place goes quiet here apart from that.
They get louder.
They get louder. But it was like, let's not panic. Let's just maintain the ball It was a little bit slower. They moved it quicker in the second half. But you just felt that there was something about Spurs tonight, that they were going to get themselves over the line and win the game. But they came back. The goal was excellent. It was a first-class goal. The move was brilliant. And you're just hoping second half they were going to lift their game. They did. And it just didn't work out. It's hit the bar, the keepers made great saves. That happens in football. So now they've got to really pull together mentally and be strong and go over there and get the result of their lives.
That's the thing. They weren't bad misses. It was good saves and it was just centimetres, wasn't it?
Pedro, 1-1 on the night. A good result or an opportunity missed tonight?
I think it's a good game today because it's the other team is good now, but it's the first leg. The second leg is open, and see you next week.
It wasn't a great start tonight, but it was all about the response that was important.
Yeah, I think for me the most important today is not lose, but my feeling for the team, for the fans, I want the victory today, but it's not possible. It's okay. Next week it's the new game, new opportunity, and get going.
A highlight of the game has to be your goal. The big smile comes over your face there. Talk to us about that finish. Was it instinctive? Did you plan it? Did you know that's how you were going to do it, the back heel?
No, I'm happy in the game, but yeah, I'm happy because the first goal for my baby, this is amazing. Yeah, but I missed the victory today. I speaking before, but I see you next week. I can go for the team, for the fans. Yeah, this.
All right. Positive though for next week that you can turn this around and bring it home.
Yeah, of course. Every day in the training, in the games, this is the most important for the team.
Pedro, thank you.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Yeah, they can go there with confidence next week, Glenn, do you think? Also to give Spurs fans a bit more belief. Frankfurt now just 2 wins in their last 8 games. Despite being third in the Bundesliga, their form's been a bit patchy of late.
Yeah, it has. But I think they've got to take heart of the way they played, particularly second half Spurs. They've created a lot that second half. They've opened them up. If it wasn't for the crossbar and a couple of inches lower than the crossbar on a couple of occasions, there'd have been a real terrific win here. And they've got to lay their hat on that. They've got to have that belief that they can go over there. It's going to be a different type of game, I really feel. But, Bergvall there, what a fantastic strike. He's done so well to get in there as well, the little turn. You just want it to go in that top corner and it would have set the place alight.
To be fair, they tried everything, didn't they? They threw so much at Frankfurt, who were probably more defensive, but the keeper, I mean, Joe mentioned it in commentary. He's so strong, he's rangy as well, he's got a big profile. And that's probably what allowed him to get some of to these balls. That.
Bentancur involved in
How good
everything
is Bentancur
as well,
in the air, by
wasn't he?
the way? He's not the biggest, but his timing is amazing. I do think it's imperative that they get Maddison the ball in these areas. Look what he does there. Sits him down. Keeper makes a great save, but they love that ball in as well. I mean, this is so unfortunate, isn't it? When he's there, you
see this, it's an eyebrow. If he can just get it a little bit on his forehead and make a power, the goalie can't make that save because it's gone into the ground. Just couldn't get enough purchase on it to get it in the back of the net. That was the one for me. So late in the game, that would have set the place alight. It would have given Spurs even more confidence to go over to the second leg.
Just going back to Bergvall there, Ange was saying that he's just getting better and better. Do you think he's going to be a world-class player?
I mean, he's super talented. I mean, thing is, I don't think he's not a kind of more defensive man. I think he's one in between. He's not a 10 and he's not a 6. I think he's a box-to-box midfield player, and I think he can do everything. And if you're playing with that much confidence, and you never really know with young lads, Ange made a great point. He was playing in Sweden. Long ago, to come over here and play in the Premier League, top league, physical. He's a young man, even though he's got a good profile, he's got good size. Look at that, great switcher play. He's good on the ball. He's got a great half turn. This one's so important. This helps you win a game, or not lose it. Getting in there and winning that, and he's aggressive when he needs to be. So yeah, he's top lins. He really is.
A little bit of everything, Owen.
Yeah,
he's got a little bit of. He's a real modern day midfield player. He's got ability like that. He's got good legs. He's got a strike on him, as we've seen. He's back in his own box making decisive. He's got a little bit of everything. And for me, the most important thing for me is he's been thrown in. He's had to be thrown in and had the games. But mentality-wise, he's coped with it.
He's
more than
used
coped
that
with it.
experience.
And he's just going to grow and grow and grow. I mean, when he's 24, what's he going to be like? That's what he's getting. He's learnt so quickly. Some people take 2 seasons to grow and they progress and they improve. He's improved in such a quick time. So what he's going to be like when he's 23, 24 is going to be frightening.
And he hasn't even had a blip, has he, Glenn? You know, most of the players this season have had a blip, and I think he's got a bit of grit, which is super important when it's tough. But he's got a bit of touch of class as well. He's quite an elegant player, and I think this season will give him so much confidence. He'll go away, have a pre-season, come back a completely different player. They feel established, and I think that's such a powerful thing for a young player to know you settled into a team and you become an integral part of it.
Yeah,
Is he one of the first names on the team sheet now for you?
Well, I think he is at the moment, and he's earned that right as well because of what the performances he's been putting in. Mentality-wise, he's got it. You can see that. I mean, he made not a mistake. It came off his shin, if you remember, in the European game over away game, and it's gone in the back of the net. And
he's played great after that, didn't he?
But the response, that showed the mentality, didn't he? He spent the rest of the game trying to put it right.
Exactly. It didn't affect him. And he could have gone into his shell, but he didn't. He actually embraced it and he said, give me the ball, I want to make up for it. And he put in a really solid performance. That is the sign of somebody who's in his peak when they're 28, maybe, not when you're only 18 still.
It is a high ceiling, I am sure. Well, it's been a busy night across Europe. So let's have a little look at how that road to Bilbao is shaping up. And it is so finely poised for the British sides. Draws for Spurs here, also for Rangers as well, despite them going down to 10 men, and Athletic Bilbao as well, having a goal disallowed and missing a penalty in that one, so it's all to play for them. And Man United conceded a late equaliser to Lyon with the last kick of the game. A bad night for Onana in that one with 2 mistakes for him, but it's finally balanced. The big surprise really though, Lazio losing to Bodo Glimt, although that was away in the Arctic Circle, the weather was bad. Would you expect Lazio to turn that around, Glenn?
I do, yeah, I think they will. I think if there was a third goal going in there, I think that's a different story. But I got a feeling, yeah, Lazio at home, the place rocking. If they get an early goal, I think I'll see them through. But, you know, you never know. You never know. But it's shaping up to be a really good semi-finals, whoever gets in there.
After the comments this week, going back and forwards between Matic, between Andre Onana, after the night he's had, Owen, that was not what he needed.
No, I mean, to be fair, I mean, with the media and the press, you always have to talk and say stuff. Sometimes less is more. You know, you got to do it out there. That's the most important thing. I mean, Matic probably one of the quietest players I've ever heard. You know, he's such a gentleman. And for him to say that was probably quite a surprise, but obviously it's escalated and then you make a couple of mistakes. But you got to do it out there, Linz. And obviously all the games are set up brilliantly. The R1, obviously the United, Lyon, Rangers doing amazing, getting a red card and hanging there against a brilliant Bilbao side as well. And Bodo Glimt, you know, the goals that they scored against Lazio were exceptional.
Yeah.
So all to play for. You know, the lads are in a great position. Everybody got to step up. The big boys got to step up. And Onana can redeem himself back at Old Trafford.
Bodo Glimt could be the first Norwegian side ever to reach a European semi-final. The winner of that tie, of course, will face the winner from this one between Tottenham and Frankfurt. Finally, Glenn, before we go, do you think Tottenham can do it next week?
Oh, there's no doubt about they can do it.
They have to play like the second half.
Yeah, exactly. I think it will be a different game, but they're going to have to defend well. They're going to be backs against the wall a little bit, and it depends on how they counter. And as I said a little bit earlier, the way they played against City this year is going to be, I think, how is the best way for them to play. Be tight, give nothing away, and then go and hit them on the counter. They know they can do it because they've done it on good occasions against top teams.
Glenn, Romero and Van de Ven looked really good today, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
You know, they defended really well. And Tottenham look a different side when they're playing, obviously, with Vicario back there. So I think that will probably give them confidence that they can go there, defend a bit differently. And like Glenn said, maybe play on the break a bit more like they did against City and Liverpool.
Yeah, they've got Wolves at the weekend. Glenn, are you thinking about resting a few?
Oh, I think he will do, yeah, without a doubt. I think that's got to be in his mind. He done that at the weekend anyway. He sort of juggled it around a bit. He's got to look at Ndogi to see whether he probably won't play this weekend, whether Kulusevski will probably not, because he'll hold him up his sleeve for maybe the substitutes. position against over at Frankfurt. But he's definitely got to see. He's got to, in a way, you've got to pick your team against Frankfurt if everyone's fit, and then go from there and pick the team that he needs for Wolves. You've got to do it because it's such a big game, that second leg now.
It really